Hello, Chris Green here with the Flood Insurance Guru. Today we're talking about Houston, Texas, and what the rest of the country can learn from Houston, Texas right now when it comes to flood insurance. There's three things we want to talk about. We want to talk about the transparency of flood losses, understanding true flood risk, and the importance of flood maps being updated more frequently. So let's talk about those three things. When it comes to transparency, it's important for potential property owners who are looking at buying a property to understand if a property has ever flooded before, what kind of losses it's had, so they can make a good decision for that kind of investment. Number two is the more accurate flood risk. Just because you might be in a low risk flood zone doesn't mean that you're not necessarily at risk of flooding, as Hurricane Harvey and the recent tropical storm have shown us. So that's something else that Texas is doing, where property owners are having to report if they're in a 500-year or they're in a 100-year flood zone, if they're in between two reservoirs that could cause flooding downstream. Those are some things. Now, when it comes to flood mapping, Houston's also showing us how important frequent flood mapping updating is. There's parts of Missouri that have not had flood map updates almost 50 years. There were parts of Houston that hadn't had flood map updates in 15, 20 years. Now, you've got new flood maps coming to Houston in November of 2019. Some of those maps were just updated 6 months ago. And so it's really important to have that flood mapping update, because these risks change so frequently, every 2 or 3 years, but going 10, 20 years, without a flood map update could cause a lot of risks. So these are some things that Houston, Texas is teaching the rest of the country when it comes to flood insurance, understanding flood risks, understanding flood maps more frequently. So if you've got questions, maybe you're in Houston, maybe you're in another part of the country, and you've got questions about what your true flood risk is, understanding your flood map, or losses on a property, please reach out to us. FloodInsuranceGuru.com. Go to our YouTube and our Facebook channels, The Flood Insurance Guru, where we do our daily flood education videos. You can also give us a call, 205-451-4294. Remember, we have an educational background in flood mitigation, so we can help you understand your flood risks, like this one right here, your flood insurance, and mitigating your property long-term to help you minimize flood losses and flood premiums. Thank you.